I think it's definitely nice because you go from like having a really fixed schedule where then you also have like homework to do even after all your scheduled classes to like you just have to work your like 9 to 5 or whatever hours you work, and then you have like all this free time. So I found the transition kind of relaxing almost, or like a breath of fresh air because I didn't feel stressed. Uh, but like you still do have like household things to do, so like laundry or like doing dishes and stuff. But for that, like I find if I schedule like a certain day of the week, like every Monday I do laundry, and that's just like a thing that I do. I find that really helpful, like creating your own kind of schedule for the like other tasks you need to get done. And then when you know you're gonna have a lot of free time or something, like connecting with people and like scheduling something to do in those times so that you're not always just like lazing around all the time. People also like, especially people who have families, they are like super busy in life. So schedule early because if you wait till the last minute to try to do stuff with people, it doesn't work as well as it did in college.
I think like that was a big jump or like a big realization where it's like I feel like throughout college, all of your time kind of has to be dedicated to classes, and it's like homework, like that's not a concept anymore. And that was like a really big realization where I was like, I'm out of work and my time is my time now. And I like owe nothing to my work once I'm out of work. So like utilizing that time efficiently and like taking care of yourself is a huge thing. Like I feel like it can really be easy to just like forget to like eat healthy and exercise when you have that jump of like working at a school into just like adulthood and no one to like keep you in check. There was a brief time where I'd just be like, why am I depressed? And it's like, oh, it's because I haven't been eating for like a week, you know? So it's just like taking a step back once in a while to just like check in on yourself and realizing that the world is oftentimes more forgiving than, deadlines that are set in college.
The high level takeaway is that a lot more is up to you in terms of how you want to use your time. So for me, I started with the things that I want to have done each week, and then I sort of worked back from there. So it's like I want to be able to spend time with friends between 2 and 4 times a week. Like I want those like quote unquote slots to be open so I can be flexible. Um, I want to, have worked out 3 times a week. Like, and I sort of figured out what I could and could not do based on the amount of transportation it would take to get to and from those things, um, from the projects I wanted to work on. It's just, I have an hour a week carved out for like, I call them like admin tasks to just like figure out the things that I need to do. So it's sort of like, I have to take the initiative to self-schedule. But again, that's just because of my um personal levels of organization, what I like to have planned out. I imagine other people um are more willing to go with the flow. I will say I do still use Google Calendar. I do still rely on it. Um, but in terms of picking when to do stuff, that is much more of a self-initiated thing. And it it pretty much has to come from your high level goals because if you just sort of let the week happen, at least for me, you will miss a lot of the things that you wanted to do simply because of all of the other constraints and options and things that can take your time. The time management is quite a tough thing, and building in like realistic transportation into your schedule is something that I was a bit surprised at, where now I have to budget 45 minutes for my commute into work, and I live in like a relatively like convenient location in New York. Um, and the significant effect that that has, and for my friends who, have to drive to work, that's also like a very significant part of their day, which I think reinforces the importance of planning in advance. That way you use your time the way you want to and not let it get like squandered by sitting in traffic.
In work, it's 8 hours, so usually 9 to 5 that you're at work. And what you're do during the day is pretty much up to you to decide your priorities, and you get to structure it. So it's very hard getting used to that because afterwards, if you go home and if you do try to get work-life balance, you can do whatever you want in the evening. You don't have to do other kind of things you have to do at school. And so having that time change is huge. The way that I deal with it personally, it's just making sure that I end the workday at the same times so that I have the full evening to myself to recharge or do whatever I need to rest and relax before the next day. Everyone has to develop some kind of task tracking system for you to know that what you should work on during the day, what will be your priorities over this next period, and there will be a time in the year that is spent for reflection to consider for promotion, and you need to know what you have done over the past period to present that why you're doing good work and why you're a valuable asset to the company. I personally actually use GitHub Project and just put all the tasks that I do in little issue in GitHub and mark that as complete. Full calendar and everything work will be on Microsoft Teams for me. So that's actually how I also separated the two work life versus personal life so that I know, oh, all these things are things I do at work and all these things are things that is in my Google Calendar.